Did I put anything in this? I don't know. There it is. This. Today, I want to talk about how I went from this to this. The table of contents to my big book on Dallas Willard. This took 10 years. This is the 10-year anniversary of me deciding that I was going to write a scholarly book on Dallas Willard. But getting from this, my initial outline, to this, took something that I didn't have, but something that we all need in order to finish big projects. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sanctus Forum. I am Michael Stewart Robb, c'est moi, and this is Pensées. We do books and everyday spirituality in Pensées, and this is the first of 2022. It's the first video of 2022 in a new room. Still setting things up in here, still trying to figure out where I'm gonna sit. This is command central for Sanctus and for my work as a writer and minister in Europe. And I'm excited about what we're gonna be doing on the Sanctus Forum in 2022. Some of the old stuff, which is conspiracy commentaries and life books, will be back, where we talk about important classic books with somebody who's really read them quite intently. So that's coming. Looking forward to that. More Pensées, and books will be coming out. Books written by me. I don't know. I don't know of any written by anybody else, but that's also why I haven't done any videos until now, because I have been working on these books, and books take time. One book in particular has taken me 10 years. It is a book that will be published by Fortress Press, and I'm very excited to work with them, and this will be kind of the name reveal, the reveal party, I guess, name the baby. It will be called The Kingdom Among Us, The Gospel According to Dallas Willard. And yes, it will be a big book about Dallas Willard, as you can guess, and some of you may recognize in the title Dallas Willard's old title for The Divine Conspiracy. It's what he really wanted to call it, and he kind of begrudgingly called it The Divine Conspiracy, which is not a bad name. Save your pennies, put on your thinking cap. Yeah, buy a thinking cap if you don't have one. It will be a scholarly book, and it won't be a $10 book. But we can pray that it's something that's not $70 or more. Sometimes these scholarly books get priced pretty high because they don't anticipate enough people buying them. But we can pray that it's something that all of you will be able to purchase for your own library. Let's put this thing away. So when I started this thing, I thought that I was going to be doing a book that I could finish in 2 years, 3 years. I thought, I know Dallas Willard pretty well, and I'll be able to figure that out. And I didn't realize it was going to be 10 years, but it doesn't really make a difference. Either way, it's a big project, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. It's the sort of thing which is going to take a lot of energy and a lot of discipline and a lot of focus and a lot of not doing other things. There's this element of not knowing when you do something like that. And in the midst of that not knowing, what you need is faith. And I did not have the faith to do this sort of thing when I conceived of it 10 years ago. February 2012, I got this idea into my head that this is what I was going to do. Now, I did have a vision, and possibly that is something that God gave to me as well. And I did have passion. I did care about Dallas Willard. I wanted to know more about him, and a good reason why I wrote a big scholarly book on Dallas Willard is I needed a scholarly vision for Dallas Willard. What he said confused me too much as an aspiring, let's call me a systematic theologian. I was an aspiring theologian, systematic theologian. I had read quite a bit in systematic theology and in theology in general. And what Dallas Willard was doing just didn't make enough sense to me, even though I liked it quite a bit. And I wanted to know more about the philosophy and what he was doing there, and I wanted to know what was moving him, what decisions he was making in theology. Now, a lot of that does come out in the book, but there at the beginning, I really needed help from God and all through the process in order to see it through, and what I was missing was faith. Now, how do you get faith for something like that? If you have the vision, if you have the passion. And really the answer is you ask for it. You ask God for it. And God is not the sort of person who is stingy with faith. He does want to give us faith, and we do need to ask for it. He does expect us to ask for it. And so that's maybe the first thing that you can think about here. But when then you look at the details, and I think there are some details here of beyond that, big prayer of, hey, God, I need faith for this. One thing that I think we should do is pray for the little things that we need. So in my case, if I think back to 2012, one thing that I needed was an outline for this project. Dallas Willard's books are really, there's a whole way of thinking that's behind them. I have kind of the 5 main ones here, what I call his pentology. To go from this to something that I was going to do, that I was going to sort of help other people, scholars, make sense of his ideas, I needed my own structure, my own outline. And I remember praying for this, and I remember this is actually the first sketch of it. And I don't know how well this can be seen here, but like there are little numbers here. 1, 2, 3. That's the first time that I listed 3 things, which then became a significant part of this table of contents, which I just showed you. You will see those number, actually, I think it's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but that comes from this piece of paper. And, I think God gave me this outline. Doesn't mean that it's inspired like scripture, but it was what I needed to move forward in this book. And it was something that I received because I prayed for it. Seeing God answer prayers like that increases our faith and gives us more for the long haul and in order to complete a big project. So the second thing that we can do is a sacrifice in little things. That means making little risks with the little that we had. And in 2012, I didn't have a whole lot that I could risk with, but I had time to a degree that I could invest in things, and I had money to a degree that I can invest in things, and I had a reputation to a degree that I could invest in things, and probably a bunch of other things. But that's what comes to mind, just little steps like risking your reputation to ask for something or to get something done, which might not turn out well, or maybe it will, or risking your money. Little things. I mean, not big, huge risks, just little risks. And when God meets us in those little offerings, those little sacrifices, then that too is an occasion in which our faith can increase and we have what we need to sustain us over the whole long haul for the project. And I hope that helps you all out there on your journey. Thanks for watching this, and look out for The Kingdom Among Us this year from Fortress Press by Michael Stewart Robb, c'est moi. I'm sure we'll be talking more about that as time goes on, but start saving your pennies and sign up for the Sanctus almost monthly newsletter. You'll find it over at Sanctus.Institute, and that way you'll find out about the book and other things that we're doing this year. But until then, take care. Bye. be getting a haircut in 2022.